be banned from chat permanently for the remainder of the tournament. And with that, we are off.
And they're off, and they go to the first cave. Do you get this rum legally? They both get the 29 rupees and leave. Guys, we're going to see them head over towards the left side, but they go, ooh, 6 Lionels.
Early Lionel screen. Never what you want to see.
Early dungeon.
Early dungeon.
Two.
Always what you want to see.
This has the potential of being 3. We're going to see them go to the left and then go back over to the right. Oh, no. Actually, no, because they don't have a sword. Neither of them are going to venture into that dungeon. As we see right now, Myriachan making her way into the river cave. And this is a very important...
All right, so knowing now that the sword, the white sword specifically, is up on Death Mountain, that can definitely affect how you play as a runner here. Because going up to Death Mountain, that's a huge trip to take, especially if there's not an easy way to get there. So at this point, this feels like if it's going to be a sword seed, it's going to be more along the lines of a wood sword or a magical sword seed, unless they happen to arrive at Death Mountain with the appropriate number of hearts. But that's not something they're going to go searching for once they have the appropriate number of hearts.
Well, we'll see how these both go as they make their way over towards the Armo statue. And we find... Ooh, this is a dangerous spot with Armos. Myriachan dies.
Yep, 6 Lionels. Alrighty, we are back and fully synced up. We do apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. As you know with these things, tech difficulties happen.
Yep, and making her way, does a couple of screen wraps, finds herself, looks like she's going to try to head back.
Now, that's interesting. I don't know if you noticed that, but it looks as if Myriachan actually completely reset everything there, because she entered the start cave again and got the 29 rupees a second time.
Ah, well, that's because it got hit with the stick up, so we rub that off, don't go back to that cave. She gets bounced, trying to desperately make it into that screen. Finds out that, ooh, it's not what she wants.
Yeah, definitely nothing worth going out. Now, I do want to point out that we do have a double over here. He's making his way now into the forest section of Hyrule.
Yep, he just went past the what is called the desert cave, or the desert shop, rather.
Yeah,
meanwhile, this is where we're going to see branches hit here, as Myriachan now looks like she's going to opt to check that southwest corner. Meanwhile, AmazingAmpharos is now checking. He finds, oh, there seems to be a dungeon underneath one of those Armo statues. This looks like 2.
Could definitely potentially be 2. And I definitely like what A Double is doing here. And the reason being is because we know that the white sword is on Death Mountain. And we haven't found a wooden sword yet. So by going over to the east here, and we did just find some bombs, so that is nice. But going over to the east, it gives him access to another 3 sets of Armos. So that's a 60% chance now, or even more than that, because we've already gone through one, that he's going to find the Armos item. And he's probably hoping that the Armos item is something like, the wand or the red candle, something that's going to give him weaponry that he can use to, potentially get somewhere in a dungeon.
Meanwhile, Myriachan making the interesting start.
All right, so Ampharos just found a cave up here in the northeast and opts to take the candle as opposed to the heart. Now, is that a decision that you think is mitigated on the fact that he knows the white sword is in Death Mountain, so it might not be easily accessible?
I think so. It could really be a choice here that we'll have to see whether or not some seeds.
Yeah, we have Myria entering where vanilla level 6 would be right now, and it's Hints. Opting to buy one, and it turns out he speaks chat. A double using the bombs he acquired in level 2, and he's discovered a very, very important piece of information. He knows where the any roads are going to be now, so definitely like the call here of going and taking the last 2 spots in the northeast, and look at that, we found a sword. So now we have got all kinds of weaponry on A double side of the screen. Proving that the going east strategy here might not necessarily be the one that everyone does, but definitely paying dividends here.
Also, he found a dungeon in the top right.
This smells like a 1, perhaps.
A feat of strength will lead to the silver arrow.
Okay, so that is interesting because in this game, there are hints. They are good hints. There are bad hints. Those are either helpful or community. Now, with the helpful hints, if you find them, they're going to be truthful 100% of the time, no matter what. So, that hint tells us that the silver arrows are going to be in a location that is either power bracelet blocked or is underneath the grave over by level 6.
We do want to point out, once again, as you noted, that grave is considered a feat of strength.
So far, we've got a couple of decent any roads. One right at the cave next to start that we can take right up to the northeast to get to that dungeon we just found. Another one's going to take us to the Dead Woods. And, okay, not necessarily the best set of any roads because nothing takes us over the Death Mountain area. But still, having that one right at the start screen is fairly huge, especially to get back to the northeast quadrant there.
And we're soon going to find out what the coast item is. And it turns out to be the inferior model, the silver boomerang, is on the coast.
Well, so we do know now that knowing what the latter item is, at least from Ampharos' side of the screen, not going to come back and pick that up. It's not one of the items that is anyone's going to come back and acquire because they want to. It's if they're coming to get it, it's because they found an early ladder and they need it. And I don't know of any situation, whether it's Lord Banana or the inferior model, I don't know of a situation where someone's going to come back and waste their, quote-unquote, waste their time to acquire the latter item when it's a boomerang. So at this point, we do know that the 2 set of Armos to the northeast of level 2 is where the, or basically north of where we are, is going to have the Armos item because we've seen all of the other Armos so far in the game. We know it's not the one over by the grave because Myriachan checked that earlier. We also know that the Feat of Strength isn't going to lead to the grave because Myriachan checked that as well. So that does confirm that at some point in the seed, the Power Bracelet is going to be required. We've got some Lionels hanging out there on the screen to the left of start, and they are guarding 29 delicious rupees.
So far as we're going through Hyrule, we found 4 dungeons so far, correct?
We found what we believe to be 3, what we believe to be 1, what we know to be 2, and I believe Myriachan found one as well, over on the Death Mountain graveyard side of things. Northwest of Start was level 3, we believe.
And Armos over in the Lost Hills is where level 2 is.
Now, Myria has found the Armos item, which is a heart container. So, not necessarily the best item to find underneath an Armos, but hey, having a heart's better than not having a heart. Just ask my ex-girlfriends.
Ooh. Meanwhile, she's still wanting to find where that wood sword is. And it's now checking over the Armo statues.
Big happenings over on A double side. Zelda got a nice new pretty white dress.
Ah, he spent his big investment that he got from the level 2 cave, purchased himself a nice big blue ring.
Yep, and that blue ring immediately paying dividends because got bumped by a Lionel, which would have killed him, but hey, pretty dress is pretty dress.
Meanwhile, he's gonna head back up. Is he heading back into 2? Yeah, it looks like he is.
Yep, I mean, got a weapon, got a blue ring. Makes the most sense to head back into 2 and clear it out, especially because you're right in the area, and 2 is going to at least potentially refill bombs.
Meanwhile, Myriachan now finding that sword. Now, it's nice to be equipped with something, isn't it?
It is. So now both of our lovely ladies here have got themselves some weaponry. And Myriachan has found her way into the dungeon up in the far northeast, which, I'm not going to lie, it seems like that location has held a lot of dungeons throughout the tournament. Now, interesting note, we see A double here having a little bit of issues with this 3-set room here with the blue and red dark nuts plus the Gibdos. Now, I don't necessarily know the spawn tendencies of this room, but is blue dark nut the main spawn in that room? Do you know? All right. So we now have got A double making his way through level 2. Now this is an interesting room here in 2, because there are 2 such rooms like it. One of them has a drop, one of them doesn't. And until you clear one, you're not going to know. So if we clear this and get a drop out of it, A double will not have to clear the second room. However, if it doesn't have a drop, he is going to have to clear it. And unfortunately, as you can see here, not going to get a drop there, so he's going to have to clear the next room. Myriachan, on the other hand, acquired a candle at the same take anyone you want that A double did earlier. So both runners opting to choose the candle as opposed to the heart container from one of their choose anyone you wants.
Interesting move, it pays off.
So now we're in the second of this sort of 1x1 by 2 by 1 by 1 room, or the grid pattern room, and we know we're going to get a drop in here, and it's the compass. Always welcome to see the compass, especially early on in the dungeon, because it lets you know where you have to obviously head to. In 2, it's not necessarily as big of a deal as it is in a dungeon like, say, 7, or especially in 9 when you're searching for Zelda, or in this case, Link. And look at that, Dodongo guarding the raft. So that was very nice there from A double's perspective, getting the raft on the path of the Triforce. So just go in, grab the triangle, and get out and make its way to the next dungeon. Now, it's going to be interesting if he chooses to go back to that dungeon in the northeast once he's done doing a little bit of excavating here by Monocle Rock.
And inside the Monocle Rock, he finds somebody just sitting there waiting for a letter.
And then right next door, he does manage to find 29 more rupees. And Myriachan is back into the Dimetap dungeon, which pretty much I think is 3 at this point, although can't be 100% sure.
I'll find out.
Although it does have all the makings of 3.
Yep, it is 3. That definitely is 3 based on the room drop right there.
Oh. Take a look over at Ampharos' side real quick. Did you see what just happened? He took the raft to the east raft spot. Level 9 is raft block. Raft required in this seed. Wow.
That could become huge coming up later on. By the way, just gonna ask right now for a time sync from our friend Jam.
Right, so both runners here now entering the purple dungeon here, and oh, that's a huge find, especially early in 3. We've got the any key over on Myria's side, which means A Double's going to find it really quickly too, because he's also here in level 3. So that is going to be a huge, huge thing, because that means keys are no longer going to be an issue in this run. So finding an early any key is absolutely gigantic.
I agree.
Now, the one good thing of note here, you noticed that A Double bombed to the left there and didn't get in. There's access to everywhere you need to in level 3, except on the corridor staircase room, which houses the item. So because that bomb didn't go through, Ampharos knows that that is the room that holds the item. And he's going to be very happy with the item because it's the magical key.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a good strategy that you do if you can't bomb. If you see a wall to the left, you're going to want to bomb it when you're in 3, because if you can't bomb that way, unless you're in the far left corridor, you know what's inside.
One good thing about this 3 is it's got a very simple enemy set. Simple in the fact that there's no Wizrobes or Darknets. Everything just pretty much be stabbed. And this horizontal shoot room here, shoot, that you see Myria in is definitely a bit of a pain, especially when it comes to trying to kill enemies like these ropes here. And look at that, ropes guarding the Triforce here. That is crazy, because 9 out of 10 times that room is usually filled with a whole lot more troll than just a bunch of ropes.
Oh, shoot. Meanwhile, we're looking over on Ampharos' side. And the oh, shoot. Full beams, no problem. There's your triangle.
All right, so we have a 2-to-1 triangle lead for A Double over Myria. Both of them have acquired the level 3 Triforce, while A Double also has the level 2 Triforce. Speaking of that levels, though, we are still looking for a bunch more levels, because we know where levels 1, 2, and 3 are. There's another one over in the grave. We're not sure what level that is. We know where level 9 is located. That's on a raft spot. And we also know that at some point there's going to be some level, not level 9, that's going to be underneath the power bracelet spot that's going to contain the silver arrows.
Well, we don't know that for certain, because remember, a feat of strength.
Meanwhile, this raft spot being all kinds of trolly, Lionel's just want Link, or Zelda in this case, to go on a trip on her favorite rocket ship and just sending her back and forth to Raft Island in the middle of Hyrule. It looks as if Ampharos is going to be going around creating a conflagration around Candle Row, and while doing so, finds entrance to another level. This, not sure whether this is a 5 or an 8 yet. Yeah, that desert means it's not 5.
Yep, that has got to be 8.
Yep, so with this being 8 now confirmed, that means the one up in the far northeast is 100% confirmed as level 1, because those are the only 2 dungeons that have that particular type of layout. Oh, that, to be fair, that could also be level 7 up in the northeast.
Possibility, but both runners don't really want to find level 7.
No, that might be why A Double didn't go back, realizing this is 7. No. Ooh, early Triforce in 8. Ampharos gonna leave it in the quote-unquote boss room, and then get trapped by a Goma.
Ouch! So now electing to go back into the dungeon. Let's try this one again. Once more with feeling.
I don't think he wants to get trapped by a Goma again, though. That's not the feeling he wants.
So he'll head north.
And that's another huge benefit of having the any key early is you can just ignore all of these key drops. Like, there's a key in the room, I don't have to go in there. In, out, gone. And again, we have high five potential as both runners are in the same dungeon here.
Yep, as both of these guys are trying to battle their way through level 8.
And good information here to find the stairs, because once we come up here and it's going to be in the corridor room, so we now know that both of the diamond staircase rooms, like this one that A Double just found, is going to contain one of the 2 items here in level 8.
And we'll soon find out what that item is as he goes, pushes the block, and he'll find the power bracelet.
And that's huge because we know from the hint we found earlier that the silver arrows are underneath a power bracelet rock.
Yep,
we know it is
as
not
we're
underneath
pointing
the
out
grave
still.
because Myria checked the grave earlier and there was nothing underneath it.
Nope, there was a dungeon
a
underneath the
dungeon
grave.
there. Oh, I did not
There
realize
was.
it. I thought it was the screen next door.
Now that's a possibility that that dungeon right there has the silver arrow. Oh, now Myria getting that interesting information, but what she doesn't know is what's going to be coming up soon.
Yes, because that along the coast is literally along the coast. You got to take a short little sail to get to that coast.
Maybe we'll find out. Maybe she'll find out via purchasing hints. Now she's trying to block clip. Had some trouble doing it. Now makes her way over to the other side. That's an interesting set of block clips in that diagonal staircase room.
Yeah, very interesting. I'm not sure why one would do that in that room when it was rope enemies that you're looking at. I could definitely understand if it was like whiz robes or dark nuts, but I'm not sure why you would be doing that against ropes.
Well, it's an interesting strategy nonetheless, as we now watch Myria. She's trying to tackle on against some blue Gorias, and is able to successfully take care of them. Half a heart left. Gets to the next staircase. And, oh. Meanwhile, AmazingAmpharos clips his way to a red candle.
And A-Double is one of the runners who I actually have had discussions with in the past about this specific item, the red candle. Now, a lot of runners, after they already have a blue candle, aren't going to pick up the red candle if it's in a dungeon. I know Ampharos is one of the ones that chooses to, because he claims, and I definitely agree with this, that it gives him more options. Like, for example, in a room like this, you can just keep firing off, flames, not have to worry about your one-shot.
Yep.
So I like the call of taking a red candle there.
You'll go ahead and take easy care of these keys, and grab the triangle, get on out. So as we make our way through level 8 on Myria's side, making our way through Candle Row on Ampharos' side, what dungeons have we yet to find?
Well, I believe we are looking for 4 and 6 are the 2 we know for a fact we haven't seen any hide nor hair of.
Although, don't forget, we have an unidentified dungeon over in the graveyard.
True. So basically, the ones we can confirm, quote-unquote confirm, that 7 is up in the northeast corner. So we're still looking for technically proof on dungeons 1, 4, and 6.
Myria seems to believe that 6 is that one that's in the graveyard. She's got that marked as that, but we don't know for certain. We'll find out soon enough, as that looks to be the feat of strength, but we don't know for certain until somebody goes in 6. Or rather, that dungeon. As it looks like we're now going to check the southwest corner on Ampharos' side. Meanwhile, Myria still making her way through 8. Did she get both items yet? I don't think she found the red candle yet.
She died in that room as she entered because they were high-fiving, and Myria died because she was on half a heart when she entered the red candle room. And yes, Paratroopa in chat, both of them did get the feat of strength hit.
So Myria's going to go ahead and grab the red candle, up band A. She knows where that Triforce is. She's going to make a beeline right there, right now.
We have also got Ampharos here in the Lost Woods, but just going to take the regular exit and get out and burn the dead woods here. And let's see what we find. We have found... Just take the heart already!
That now puts him at 7 hearts. Meanwhile, Myria with 6. Both of them guaranteed to get the white sword should they ever make it to Death Mountain. Neither of them have explored there yet. And like we said, we got at least one dungeon that's yet to be found. Myria making her way over to Candle Row. She'll find that heart container that Double A found a few moments ago.
Yep, and you see A Double is opting to take the, quote, traditional route through the Lost Woods, northwest, southwest.
And I believe he's going to go ahead and check the graveyard first, and if that is the case, then he'll know what Myria already knows, that potential, that feat of strength is the dungeon straight ahead.
Ooh, cheap bombs.
That's very nice right there, and this would indeed be 6.
100% confirmed, just based on that first entrance.
Yeah, Comentus awaits with the wand. That's a very interesting hint.
Also, we have got a 3-headed Gleeok here in the this room that's going to lead to the tip of the dragon's tail. And yes, the layout for level 6 is in fact a dragon. Speaking of level layouts, though, over on Myria's side, we have found one to the direct north of level 1.
And this right here, based on what we're looking at, she makes her way northward. This is probably going to be 5.
Certainly feels like a 5 to me. All kinds of juking and jiving there over on Ampharos' side as Gleeok is making him work.
Oh, trying to get that last swing in, going up, he got it!
That was some nifty slinking there. And it leads, that's as good because it leads to a potential item room, because the single block room is going to contain a staircase in 6, just a matter of if it's the item or if it's the staircase.
Yeah, we'll know soon enough, should he be able to go. I'm surprised that he's not upping and A-ing and just going in here with full health, but if he can get these bunnies off his back, more power to him. Definitely taking a good strategy, trying to make sure he remains down below or to the left, or to the sides rather than trying to fight them upward. They can't jump down quite as much as they jump up.
And while we are watching Ampharos deal with bunnies over in the dragon's tail, Myria is on her way to Death Mountain and has already acquired the letter.
The letter of importance.
It just confirms that she knows Bagu.
Around. Yep. And meanwhile, Double A has made his way through the bunnies, and that is the transport staircase. And what a transport staircase that is, all the way to the other side.
So that is why the Zelda crossed the road, everybody.
Meanwhile, that's also important information. By taking that transport staircase, he is now looking for the narrow passageway that gets him into the item.
Yeah, and I do love that hint. Why do you need a map? Just Google it. Just goes to show you the state of affairs we're in today, where we can just Google all the maps that we need.
Just remember that every adventure begins with a clean map.
Yep, absolutely. And there is a potential to have to kill those bunnies in what would be Goma's room. But I definitely agree with the whole, I'm not going to kill those unless I have to mentality.
Meanwhile, Double A finding what
The
looks to be the triangle.
amongst bunnies.
Nice sea of munches for those bunnies. Now he's going to go back in, and I think he's going to try to search up this left-hand corridor. Yeah, that appears to be exactly what he plans on doing, trying to see if perhaps he can find the item. Because remember, this has the potential of being the silver arrows.
And I absolutely agree with coming back in here because while it's not it's not the easy, quote-unquote, easy set with gorillas and ropes, it's not a whiz rope set.
That's correct. And also, once again, remember, this is considered a feat of strength. This has the potential of being what it is you need to kill Ganon. So I think...
more Gleeox.
Yep, and no worries there. Just scoot around it. Got an open door. Just might as well go for it. Makes his way up one more room, another room, and there's your shoot room. Not the shoot room, but the passage. And we've got the silver arrow.
Silver arrows confirmed. So that is a huge, huge find. We're still missing, a couple of rather key items. The ladder, the bow.
Yep. But now
definitely finding the arrows is huge.
Now you know the bow has to be in 1 through 8.
And we know for a fact that the bow isn't in 8, 6, 3, or 2.
And we know wand is in 1, taking up one of those 2 items. And
correct.
Double A going in, taking a hint. Dig Dugger has the bow. It's in 5.
That is a huge, huge hint. Myria is on half a heart strats over, make that no heart strats over in the northeast. Never mind.
Back to start. So far, what items have we not seen yet, Greenleaf?
Well, if I recall everything correctly, so far, the Armos item was the heart container. The Coast item was the inferior model. We found a hint telling us that the wand was in level 1. We know that the Wrath was in level 2. We did find the level 3 item, and I can't remember what it was. It was...
Any key.
The Any key, correct. Level 4, we don't know. Level 5, we can confirm has the bow. Level 6, we can confirm has silver arrows. Level 7, we don't know. Level 8 contained the power bracelet and the red candle.
And the ladder item was?
The inferior model. So, if you are keeping track at home, the items we are still looking to find are Lord Banana, the ladder, the recorder, the red ring, the book,
yeah, I believe that's correct. You spoony bard. Meanwhile, while we were discussing the items, Myria did pick up the blue ring, so she does now have the same protection that Double A has. And Myria making her way into what looks to be 1, and that would be confirmed by the hint about Dodongo dwelling on the Lost Hills. Anyways, Myria now going in, and we find our friends, the Wizrobes, in 1.
Wizrobes, never what you want to see. Overall, take them in 1. Only having 17 rooms, it's better than, in the 33-room level 7, for example.
Meanwhile, Myria now making her way up to the first junction, finds a key. Finds another room that has a key. Electing to go up from the NSU, finds the staircase, trying to block clip her way in. Finally does so, and finds the item we already know was in 1, the wand.
We have also found the white sword on A Double's side, and that is a huge upgrade, especially because, we knew it was up here in Death Mountain, weren't sure if we're going to be able to find it or get to Death Mountain with the appropriate number of hearts, or if we're going to find it at all. Because if we found all the dungeons before we got up here, there'd be no need to come up to Death Mountain. Myria has also acquired the Triforce in level 1, but she's going to go back because we got 2 items in there.
Yep, and with the ladder still being a very important item, she doesn't know about the bow hint that AA received. She's going to actually search out the right side now. Takes good care of the Keese and the Zons, now making her way over towards the northeast quadrant. Still trying to find what that second item is.
Now, it's going to be interesting to note because of the 5 items remaining, 2 of them that we know of cannot be in level 9, the Reporter and the Ladder. So if we find Lord Banana, the book, or the red ring here in 1, we can, by process of elimination, know the last 2 items that are going to be in 9.
So she makes her way up to the northeast quadrant, finds, instead of what she wants, she finds a key, timed up an A, now head straight up.
A double acquiring the letter on his latest path through Death Mountain. However, the big thing plaguing him right now, lack of explosive devices.
And when you need 2 of those explosive devices, but oh, no problems, here's a couple of moblins, or 5 of them rather. Maybe you can get a bomb drop off them.
Maybe, but the game we all know is self-aware, so no bomb drops happening.
And Myria, gonna have to full clear the dungeon. Not a bad thing considering how many rooms it is, but still, you don't want to have to full clear a dungeon on your way through, if you can avoid it.
We have some Landmolas there. They don't look too happy to be disturbed. They were in a nice locked room, were minding their own business. Then this woman in a white dress comes in and decides she wants to burn them all, and that's not very nice. What are those
and they're doing a
you?
good job of avoiding her burns right now. She's going to grab it. She's going to find the ladder.
The step ladder. Huge, huge find for Myria. That's going to make things a lot easier, especially going through like 7 and 4, because there are potential to be ladder blocks in those dungeons.
Absolutely, but here's the thing she doesn't know. She doesn't know where that bow is.
That is true, and the other advantage that A double is going to have here is one of those dungeons that you're always going to clear no matter what, because it's 17 rooms, there's 2 items. So he's definitely going to find the ladder as soon as he finds level 1. Myria's not going to know to dig in 5, perhaps, and you know, if 4 is still on the table, digging through 4 is a lot easier than digging through 5.
Absolutely, and if their Triforce is early in 4, that could be a real critical piece of information that one knows, but the other one doesn't. As Myria is now making her way out to the coast, going to be bombing some, and she will find the dungeon. That is the last dungeon to find. It looks like we are in 4. So Myria now is in 4 out on the coast.
So that is good. So Power Bracelet seemed to be required, but we learned that because 6 was under the grave and that contained the silver to kill the pig, it was not actually required.
That is correct. And now it looks like where did AA go back into? Is he in 3 or is he in 5? It looks like he's in 5.
He's in the dungeon that's directly north of level 1.
So he's in 5.
Yes, he's
so
in 5.
Now he's going to be searching this one out completely to get the item. He knows that. Meanwhile, Myria, she got a very important piece of information regarding this dungeon. She knows where the Triforce is, and this is one that both people are going to have to mostly fully clear.
Right, because 4 is the last of the dungeons that doesn't have a staircase.
And,
oh!
Could this be a bait block? We won't know for certain. She might have a way around it on the left side. Meanwhile, AA getting himself into a staircase, and he finds the biggest important item to find at this moment, the bow.
That is huge because now with the silver arrows, that's going to allow him to deal 4 hearts of damage to most enemies in the game. I say most because Wizrobes are still Wizrobes, and depending on how this works, we have the potential building for a meat seed. We might need some bait, everybody. Putz, I know you're in here. This one's for you, buddy.
Now, Myria's going to go check the room to the left, go up, and it looks like, sorry TGE, that bait is not required. Meanwhile, very big information for Double A. He's not going to have to full clear this dungeon. The Triforce is close to the start. Myria getting her way into the double block room, and she will find the recorder.
Okay, so now that we found the recorder and the ladder, the last 3 items that we need to find are Lord Banana, the book, and the red ring. So assuming if the red ring is in 7, very unlikely chance that the runners are going to search for it. If it's in 9, there's a potential they run into it. So, interesting seed. Looks like it's going to be a blue ring seed.
And Myria now making her way into the Gliok room. And yep, that's one of the rooms that you have to clear out. It's one of 2 rooms in 4 where you have to full clear in order to get the drop. It has the Triforce, and she is done. Meanwhile, I'm guessing there's an issue trying to get to where the Triforce is in 5, because he's now northeast. He's going to push the Silver Arrow onto a couple of Gibdos, push open the block, and he goes down the staircase. Ooh, so ends up all the way in the northwest corner of the dungeon.
This is interesting. It might require him to utilize some bombs to take the long path around.
Take the long way home. Gonna have to deal with some blue dark nuts, maybe?
There is that potential. Myria is playing a tune on the recorder over on the right side of your screen, and it brings her right back to where she was.
Not bad, at least. I mean, you're going to want to try to warp, and it looks like she is now making her way, trying to make a beeline over towards Dungeon 5. Meanwhile, Double A, I'm hearing beeping strats. Not really good, especially when you're trying to deal with some blue dark nuts that don't really care for your presence.
Well, I mean, blue dark nuts, nobody likes blue dark nuts. That's why in any percent runs, actually blue dark nuts in level 5, the blue dark nuts that actually guard the recorder, that room has been given the nickname the Room of Requirement, because you're required to go through there if you ever want to run to continue.
I still call it Dark Nut Hell, though. And it looks like he has completed 1 Dark Nut room, going north, now going east, and
this room is all kinds of troll, having, dark nuts in this triple line room. However, thankfully, Darknut's not going on this second sort of horizontal path, allowing A Double to kill a couple of them and make his way to the Triforce room.
He will evade a few of them, make his way up to the north, and, well, I bet he's breathing a sigh of relief. He's got to only deal with Keys.
That is huge, because after all those Darknuts, having a nice simple room where it's, 100% all Keys, you're all good.
Meanwhile, Myria now in level 5, she is going to try to make her way around, and she's trying to make her way over to the Triforce area. Trying to bomb her way into the room, so far having some trouble doing so. And she will head north into this room that has the red Darknuts in here. We'll try to clear it. She finds a staircase. I'm wondering if she knows to think about going into there, if she can clear out some Darknuts.
That's the thing with 5. I mean, you're going to have to clear out Darknuts to get out of this room anyway, so that means the staircase is going to be available to you, so might as well. I'm just going to clip in.
Nice reverse clip, and she will now find the treasure, the bow.
That is gigantic.
Nice presence of mind for her to at least check the staircase while she's trying to get into the Triforce room. This now makes things a little more interesting. as far as strategy is concerned.
Yeah, at this point, it's one of those things where one runner has the silver arrows, one runner has the ladder. So we know the ladder is an easier place to find, quote unquote find, because it's in one. We also know the silver arrows that are fairly easily accessible point within 6. So does this give either one of them the advantage here, or is the advantage lying with A double because he's got more Triforce pieces right now?
Absolutely, and right now, 5 Triforces versus what is right now 4, but Myriachan getting closer and closer, making some interesting good work. Use of the wand. I'm starting to get some good use of the wand myself, just to get them off your back sometimes. But is able to clear the room with the blue dark nuts. Now time to head a few rooms over. It looks like she's opting to clear this room with keys, perhaps hoping to get a good drop. We'll clear them out and find that it's not quite a good drop. Maybe because she only has one bomb, she was trying to get herself some bombs to work with. Now she attempts to play bully with the Dark Nuts, and unfortunately the Dark Nuts win. And here's the bad news about that, TGE. She now has to redo that room with the Dark Nuts with a shuttered door.
That's awful. That's absolutely awful. However, what isn't so awful is the fact that A double has found level 1.
Now A double A, or A double, whatever you want to call. We'll search over to that room to the right, and now knows because of that 6-block room. Now knows because of that 6-block room that is not a required room. So turn direction, head over towards the left, where you will find the hint of something you already know.
Yes, we know where Dodongo is. He's in the Lost Hills because we've been there. We've done that. We've got the logs he captured. The blue dark nuts here in the bars room, hashtag bars, yeah, we're going to rhyme here. Nice dark nut skip there by Myriachan, because if you hit the dark nuts by facing down like that, you are going to be able to skip through them. However, that bars dark nut room being tougher than unemployment right now for Myriachan.
And ooh, she takes a bop, takes another bop, spins around, and goes poof. She's got to go back to start. That triple bar room is not playing nice to her. I think she's ending up getting cherry triple bar instead of triple bar.
Yeah, but this is dying here twice now in those rooms. This is given the chance for AA to open up a huge lead, because he's going to find a ladder here in 1, and that's going to put him not just with the all the items he's going to need to take out Ganon, but also put him on a huge lead because he's going to have 2 Triforces over Myriachan, and the most important thing of all is he has the raft, which we know is required for level 9.
And that's a good point to make, because Myriachan doesn't know that fate just yet. She doesn't even have the raft out of 2, but she has not gotten the Triforce out of there either. Right now, according to my scorecard, Myriachan has Triforces in 1, 3, 4, and 8.
Myriachan, though, has finally conquered the beast that is the triple bar room and has made her way to the 100% all keys room, which means she now has a shiny triangle from the lizard in level 5. Yes, that map is of a lizard. I don't make the names, I just tell you what they are.
Meanwhile, she will deal with the keys, gets her Triforce, and gets out of dodge. One issue for her is the fact that she only has 1 bomb. Maybe she'll try to farm them off these moblins first. But the moblins don't want to give her a drop. Oh, a fairy that she can't use.
Interesting, we have A double attempting a block clip here in the diamond room. Goes for it about 4 or 5 times, then it's like, you know something, this is wasting too much time. I'm just going to kill the breakfast in this room. We got pancakes, and we got syrup, and we got I'm not sure what the bubbles would be, but we got those, and now we're going to find the wand, which the A-double is going to pick up because that is going to potentially increase his firepower. It's going to give him 2 options for 2 hit points of damage apiece, and if you can get the frame perfect taps and hit the buttons on the exact same frame, you'll get 4 damages from hitting people with your sword and your wand.
But it also tells him that he's still looking for a room drop item, because like Myria, he did get the hint about the wand being in dungeon number 1.
Yeah, he did also find the ladder, so he's good. He found the ladder earlier.
Ah, okay, so he already did grab the ladder, so Myria now making her way through Death Mountain. And based on what we know already, Myria is going to be soon finding the white sword.
And A-double has found the last dungeon that he needed, level 4. So with this, he's going to get the Triforce in here, and it's going to be on the path, so he's going to also pick up the recorder on his way, and then he's going to go back to the far northeast corner, which is number 7.
And it looks like AmazingAmpharos is now find where dungeon number 4 is. So with that, he knows where all the dungeons are. Is, I believe, correct?
Yes, this is the last dungeon he needed to find because he did know 7 is up in the northeast corner.
And he also knows, more importantly, where dungeon 9 is.
Yeah, that's the huge advantage that he has, is by getting that early raft in 2 and finding 9 very early. That is gigantic.
That was a huge decision there from AmazingAmpharos to go ahead and check the raft spot while you're in that northeast quarter.
Unfortunately, getting the news that that's not the item room in 4, so you're going to have to, unfortunately get a little handy and keep moving on. Keep on keeping on, as it were. Getting the Dodongo stun and some delicious explosives from the Dodongo himself.
Anyways, continuing here through 4, he now got the important piece of information about where the Triforce is. He finds that lovely little meat block, but no worries. Out of the room, looks like he's going to try to bomb the wall. And what he does, he now will traverse north. If I'm double A at this point, I would not really worry about the other items in here. Maybe check if it's on my path, because you've got the items that you need to beat this game right this moment, as we see Myria back in 6.
The only potential hazard that A-double runs into is if the Triforce in 7 is Dig Dogger blocked.
Ooh, that is a extremely good point, and we'll find out soon enough as Double A does grab the Triforce, leaves, and he is going to make a beeline, I would assume, to that northeast quarter.
Makes the most sense.
Myria right now dealing with the what is the bunny room, I would call it, the bunny staircase room, I guess we could call it.
But A-double opting to use the take arrows that he knew was there to quickly get up to the northeast quadrant and make his way into level 7.
And he's going to go ahead, head up to the northeast, and we'll find him into 7 at this moment. Can I just right now ask our lovely host, Jam Eviler, for a timestamp? Much appreciated, good sir. All right, thank you very much. Yahoo! All right, Happy New Year!
So we have now got a bunch of hands here in level 7. We had one way to go, and that was to bomb right. And this is probably the best news A-double could have had in 7. It's only ropes. And oh, early compass. That is huge.
Yes, that is extremely huge, being able to know where the Triforce is, except, oh, it's all the way on the top. you're still going to have to mostly full clear this thing, but at least now you can make a beeline for where that Triforce is.
So this just confirms the hint from the original game. There is a secret in the tip of the nose.
Yeah, that is correct. However, one big problem for AA at this moment, that bomb count reads 0.
Ouch. Well, hey, look, Gliok guards some bombs.
That's a very good piece of information right there. Going to grab those bombs from Gliok. And bombs over to the right. Maybe he, at this moment, while he's on this quadrant, might as well search to see if there's a good staircase that will bring him over towards that northern section. And clearing up that room with keys brings him some more bombs. So what problem with bombs?
I didn't see a problem with bombs.
Anyways, he now makes it to the tip. Not that one tip, the other tip. And we'll up an A, go back to start. He'll leave the dungeon, which is a good decision. But now faces himself against a Gliok. Not a Gliok, I'm sorry, a Goma. And who's guarding some bombs.
Doing the dance of fireballs and doing a great job avoiding them. Also, we have got Myria obtaining the Triforce out of level 6. Now she's going to go back in to get the silver arrows that because she got the hint from earlier, knows where they are, and going to be pleasantly surprised that, hey, look, a couple more rooms in, and there's some delicious silver arrows.
Yep, and that's exactly what she needs. But one thing she doesn't have, but she might not think that she needs, is a transportation device that gets you across the dock.
Yes, the raft. We have a heart found over on a double side, which does put him at 10, which means he does have the potential to acquire the magical sword. However, he doesn't know its location, only Myria does. We know it's close to level 4, but it is what it is. And a very nice manhandle kill there in this diamond staircase room. Can we find the book? Sorry, Lizzie.
And it doesn't look like he's going to go for that book. Meanwhile, Myria will go ahead and do a nice little screen wrap. You spooty bard! Gets a couple of bombs, or rather, a couple of rupee bomb purchase, and makes her way into the Armo statue. She's going back into 2 at this moment. Here's the question. Is she going to go get the item out of 2? This could be huge.
Well, the thing is, if she takes the path that A Double did, the items on the way to the Triforce. Speaking of on the way to the Triforce, easiest boss in the game for the Triforce in 7, it wasn't Dig Dogger blocked, it was Coin Boss blocked.
Oh, those are the toughest bosses ever. Those 10 rupees are so hard to pick up.
Well, you never know. They could definitely weigh you down. And now we are on the path to level 9, or the road to Viridian City, whatever you want to call it. Pick your game. Yes, we're going to cross-promote here. No, we don't care. And no, in no way, shape, or form is this stream sponsored by Pokemon or Nintendo.
But in the meanwhile, it is time for level 9, the Great Equalizer. Don't forget, Myria, she's not out of this just yet. It all depends on where Ganon and where Zelda is.
So at this point, what we are looking for is we are looking for the sound of Ganon, the door for Zelda, or perhaps a compass. That'll help.
So it looks like he's electing to go. What many people will do is the straight north path and finds... Oh, there's Zelda's lair right there, but she's not in there.
Yeah, the other thing that does is that blocks the potential to go up, because you can't bomb out of Zelda's room because those blocks are in the way. So now he does have to go around.
Meanwhile, Myria, now making her way over, finds herself in a room that has a Dodongo, half a heart left. She will find the raft.
Assuming Dodongo doesn't eat her up first, which he does not.
She will get the raft, she will get the Triforce. She is now needing the Triforce in 7. And then, will she check the coast? Raft spot first. Meanwhile, AA making his way all the way to the north. He sees on this very top section a shuttered door. That's the type of room you want to close out. Because if that door does not open when you clear it out, there's Zelda It opens, so you're going to go into the... Looks like he's going to go back down, head into the staircase.
Now, Myria, I definitely agree with if Myria goes back to 7 first. I don't disagree with either option here, whether it's checking the raft or going to 7. And going to 7 looks like what she is going to be doing here because she knows where that is located.
Not sure what she's doing with those blue levers, however, maybe she's trying to build up her count.
It does look like it, but I'm not sure why, because she has a full complement.
She seems unsure of what she wants to do at this moment, but now she will reverse course and head over towards the northeast sector. Meanwhile, AA now taking over a staircase, comes out on the other side, and everyone's great room and any percent, the reverse C with whiz robes in it.
And still a reverse C with whiz robes, but this is also a nice staircase to find because it's going to allow him to clear off the complete left-hand side of the dungeon as well. And if you can eliminate a lot of these outlier rooms really quickly, they only have like 1 or 2 access points, that's huge, huge information.
Absolutely. Trying to make his way down to the south end. Doesn't hear the roar of Ganon, so looks like he's going to go back up into the staircase and come up the other side, and he will end up with a passage with a lovely...
Myria is doing the Goma dance over in level 7. Now this is one Sorry about that. My internet decided it wanted to be crazy. So if I could just get a quick time sync so I can make sure I am synced up and ready to go, that would be wonderful.
Meanwhile, while we were dealing with that, we have found AA battling against the pig roast.
So we have got a potion here, 2 potions, so we are not in danger of Hyrule drivers here. A little bit of a stun lock. I like the option of just sitting here and smashing with the white sword down the quote-unquote safe spot in the bottom corner.
Yep, just try to avoid some fireballs there. Decides to use the potion, which is a definite good idea. You don't want to get Hyrule drivered when you have 2 hearts and a blue tunic.
I do want to point out real quick, as
stuck, and he will use the silver arrow, and the pig is down. Go ahead and say what you wanted to say.
I was going to say, I do want to point out now, as A Double was killing Ganon, that Myria does not have the compass. So she is flying blind here in 7. She's on the right track. We know she's on the right track.
Yep, but she's going to be taking some of these rooms unnecessarily, like this one with the Goma, to find that it only has a key drop.
At this point, A Double here is looking just to clear out as many rooms as he can. Not worry about killing anything. He doesn't care.
Meanwhile, this is a big development. You remember how Myria doesn't have the compass? Well, she will take the staircase in the reverse C, and it looks like she'll come back out on the other side to find that she's only moved about 3 rooms. Meanwhile, AA, I think he's found the path. I think he's got the door open. I think he's going to go inside, and he will move on to the next round. AmazingAmpharos has won. will move on to face on, and he will move on to face on against Fred Coughlin. What a great matchup that will be, the 7 versus 10 in the next round.
That's going to be all kinds of fun to watch. Myria, still making her way through 7, finds the map one screen before she's going to find the Triforce. We know it's in this room. Coin Boss, Easy Boss.
Yep, she will go in. She will take good care of the Coin Boss and make her way over to 9. Meanwhile, the official speedrun's live time for AmazingAmpharos was 1:04:30. So congratulations, AmazingAmpharos. We'll probably see him come in here for an interview coming up in just a few.
Yep. Now, the thing to point out is Myria does know the hint for level 9, and I'm fairly certain she knows that it can only be on the East Wrap spot because she got the Coast hint, and she's bombed everything else, so she has to know 9 is there.
Lost Card Fan just pointed out something very interesting. That is the second fastest time in the tournament.
And I want to also point out that, again, I mentioned this at the beginning, but the most amazing thing to me about all of this, not to throw the guy's name out there, but is the fact that he does all of this with 0 block clips, and I heard the badung from Discord.
Yep, we'll talk to him in just a moment here. I do want to point out that he did, it looks like, a couple attempts at a block clip, so congratulations, AmazingAmpharos. He is now joining us here for the post-race interview. Congratulations on your win.
Thanks for the congrats. I did pull off some block clips, I just failed at others.
The great strategy right there, and getting a couple of key pieces of information, including but not limited to the location of level 9 early on.
Yeah, I figured when I found the raft early, I was already over there with most of East Hyrule cleared, so I just checked the East Raft Island up A. I was pretty happy to find 9 there, because that's one of the last spots most people check.
Indeed. And speaking of that right now, Myria now making her way out of dungeon number 7. She's going to make her way over to level 9. Now, she does have it marked on her map, so she does know what her fate is going to be as far as level 9 is concerned. So, that, according to what Lost Cards fan said, is the second fastest time of the tournament so far for a winner.
That's pretty awesome. I was pretty satisfied with that run overall.
Was there any moment there that you were concerned about where you were in relation to where Myria was in this tournament, or rather in this seed?
Well, I ran into that white sword hint real early, and I was like, going to Death Mountain early would be great, but as I'm sure you surmised from that run, screen scrolling's not a thing I could do, and I know Myria can, so I thought if Death Mountain's really rich with lots of good stuff, including the white sword I know's there, she could really pull ahead. Especially because I was just slogging through those dark nuts, getting a raft and some other miscellaneous, not immediately useful items from my early dungeons.
And it turned out that Death Mountain only really had the sword, nothing else.
Yeah, I'm going to assume the Spectacle Rock area was probably where Magical Sword was. I never bumped into it.
Mags was one screen to the right of 4 on the coast, actually.
Oh, I missed a spot.
Yep, the one spot you missed on there was Mags.
Well, unless it was a Tin Heart Magical Sword, it makes no real difference.
Meanwhile, we see Myria just, she's making her way through level 9 right now. She's, by the way, got 10 hearts as well. How good was it to find that hint about the bow?
The bow hint was great. The silver arrow hint, that silver arrow hint was incredible because it gave me 3 pieces of information. It really narrowed down where a dungeon would be. It told me where silvers were, and it told me the dungeon I was in at the time was 7.
Very nice. It definitely give you a lot of good pieces of information right there, and knowing that you had the silver arrows in that dungeon, knowing that you got the ladder in 1, made easy work of 7 for you.
Yeah, as soon as I knew that was 7, it was in the northeast corner of the world. The only thing near it was level 9. Very easy decision to do 7 last.
A fact that was made even easier by that location of having the Take Any Road 2 screens away from it.
That certainly didn't hurt.
Now, what kind of strategy were you looking for in this race against Myria? Were you just looking like this is your normal path, or did you try doing a few other things?
Well, I kind of went into this with the mindset that I'm going to try to play it pretty aggressively. You know, don't bang my head into things out of pride. Don't run around looking for keys and hearts, because who needs keys and hearts? And just see what pans out and try to sort it out later. The fact that I got enough hearts before I made my way to Death Mountain and Magical Key early really paid off for the fact that I didn't scrounge 2 or 3 at all.
Mm-hmm. Getting that Magical Key in 3 was very key for both players, actually. And Myria now making her way through 9. Looks like she got the compass, so she knows where Zelda is. The question is, where's Ganon?
Oh yeah, my 9 strategy probably looked like total chaos.
Actually, no, it looked fairly, par for the course. Going up early, trying to eliminate all of these rooms on the right-hand side, and then just reacting to staircases as you find them. It looked, fairly normal from what I saw.
Well, it's looked fairly normal, in my opinion, just except for the fact that, ooh, look, you can't really go further north because there's Zelda's chamber. But, congratulations on your win. You got Fred Coughlin coming up next. So, dealing with the creator of this randomizer program, what are you going to have to do to get ready for that matchup?
In terms of what I'm going to do to get ready, probably absolutely nothing. But in terms of the match itself, I'm really looking forward to it. Because when I was learning the randomizer, I had no clue what I was doing. I had to watch at least 50 different races Fred did, trying to figure out how it worked and what I should do. So it would be especially fun to beat him in his own game.
That should be a lot of fun. We're now looking forward to that matchup here. Beat the creator at his own game, coming up on whatever day it's going to be. Anything you want to say to Fred before, while he might be watching or listening, if he's watching the VOD later on?
Good luck. We're all counting on you.
Indeed. Indeed. Any final thoughts in regards to your race today? Like, when did you start feeling comfortable? Like, you may have a chance of actually pulling this off and winning.
I started to feel real comfortable right about when I cleared out 6. Because I knew I was taking a huge risk diving into 6. I fought that Gleeok and came out with half a heart, barely scraped by with Triforce, got out with silvers, and I was like, okay, this is great. That dungeon could have gone really bad really easily, but I got through it without a ladder, without a white sword. That's going to give me a big edge.
That was great in the fact that you were able to do it with beeping strats like that. Also had to really give you a lot of props for the way you handled those 2 Dark Nut rooms in 5. Meanwhile, Myria is facing off against Ganon. It looks like she got Hyrule Drivered, bopped again, and Hyrule Driver, she's got to go back to start.
Yeah, so real quick, while we're waiting for Myria to get back to Ganon, I do want to ask, was getting that early blue ring, did that affect the level of aggressiveness you played with throughout the rest of the run?
Oh, totally, because with the blue ring, I'm not really scared of any enemy that's not a blue Dark Nut or Wizrobe or in a Fireball Shooter room, which means I can just kind of charge in, hit buttons a lot, and come out alive, whereas without that ring, I would have had to respect the enemies a lot more, because I'm pretty sure I dropped below half health a lot of times with that blue ring.
Yeah, interesting. It's always one of those things where you run into a bunch of money early and then find the blue ring shop or know where one is.
I think we got a little distraction going on at this moment.
There's a switch. Hold the screwdriver and hit that switch quick.
That works. Sorry, I had to step away. Was I asked something, or are you just commenting on Myria?
We were actually asking you something, but then we noticed that you were stepped aside. So go ahead and ask your question again, Greenleaf.
I forgot what I asked.
Sorry, I never found the banana.
It was buried in 9. We know by process of elimination, it and Red Ring
yeah.
were buried in 9.
When I deduced by elimination Red Ring was in 9, I thought back to buying Blue Ring early, and I just had a smile on my face.
It was a good purchase decision. It really was a good purchase decision, as Myria has now got Ganon stun locked. It looks like she's going to be making her way over to Zelda right now. So, I guess, more or less, I'm just trying to think. What was your decision getting the candle over the heart container when you first found one of those take any's?
It's a real easy decision, because my view is, in terms of survival, one heart doesn't really do anything for you. In an early game, it actually nerfs you because you don't have sword beams after you up A. On the other hand, Candle cuts the backtracking in the overworld a lot, and is a useful weapon, so unless I know where a candle shop is, or have White Sword close at hand, because that's the main function of hearts, is unlocking swords, I'm just taking the candle every time.
Very good idea right there, as Myria now makes her way a couple more rooms left, and she's going to be saving Link in this version of her randomizer.
Okay, so just to go back to the candle question again then, so...
just one point I just want to mark, before you say that, Greenleaf, I just want to note that her final time was 1:15:56, so about 11 and a half minutes after AmazingAmpharos. Pretty good run for both of these people. Please give them a round of applause. Give them a follow. Come on, guys. Let's show your support for both runners here. Go ahead, Greenleaf.
So back to the candle question again. So finding that early White Sword hint, that definitely affected your decision to go and grab the candle, because if the White Sword had been easier access, you would have grabbed the heart there instead?
I would have considered it, but with Death Mountain being the hint, it wasn't really much of a consideration. Like, it's a tough thing, because if White Sword's under a bush, then I haven't really helped myself get it early by leaving the candle behind. If it said Lost Hills, I probably would have taken the heart, though.
Very good, very good effort for you right there, AmazingAmpharos. Congratulations once again. Also joining us right now for the post-race interview is Myria. Welcome.
Hello?
Hello, welcome. Good finish.
Oh, yeah, I was trying to speak on I forgot I had push to talk enabled.
That's all right.
Happens to all of us.
Great finish. It was nice and close for both of you guys, especially as we were rounding to the hour mark. At what point did you start to worry where AmazingAmpharos could be in relation to you?
I was always worried, and I was never not worried. I thought that he might have found the sword a lot faster than me, because I had to go all the way around the world to find it. And I mean, I figured that he would be like 10 minutes faster than me. That's kind of what I expected.
Oh, and that's a very good point. Thank you for pointing that out. What made your decision to go towards the graveyard early on?
I just always go that way, I guess. I just started left in general.
That's your personal preference.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's one that I was wondering. A bit towards later in the game, you found the hint that level 9 was going to be on the coast. And after going through and bombing everything, you did figure out that 9 was going to be in that raft spot. So how worried were you getting to the end of that run that the raft was going to be buried deep in 7?
I was worried about it, sure. I ended up finding 7 Vitalina. But, I knew that level 9 was on the coast pretty early. I mean, if you were on my stream, you saw me mark it. I mean, on the raft spot. The reason I was bombing Death Mountain is because I really badly needed a White Sword. At that point, I had found all the levels, and I was just really badly needed that sword. That's why I was bombing around.
Good point right there, and then you finally did find the White Sword. How relieved were you when you found the raft in 2?
A little bit relieved. I mean, if anything that if 7 is terrible, well, it's terrible for Ampharos too, so It was just a relief of how long it was going to take, but I was getting worried that he was going to finish, and of course he soon did.
One thing I did know was your strategy against the blue dark nuts in 5, especially that one in that triple bar room. What made you want to go head first against them there?
I was going to try and use their wand downward and get past them, and then I just completely failed there, and it cost me like probably 3-4 minutes. And did it again, you know.
Right, because every time you had to redo that locked up door. Pretty solid effort through 9. What was your thought process heading into 9? Did you know at that point in time whether or not AmazingAmpharos had already finished?
Yeah, I saw it pretty much immediately when he had finished, so that's why I was being like a little silly with like going around collecting bombs and both potions and all that, because I was like, well, he already finished, might as well continue, so and make it easy for myself.
Yeah, I was wondering that. I was like, I saw you going up, down, up, down. I was like wondering if you, and then I looked at your map on your stream there, and I did see that you did know where 9 was. So I was thinking for a very second there until I saw that Myria doesn't know where 9 is.
Oh, I know where 9 was. I just took advantage of the fact that I lost already to just fill up on bombs and.
Let's have a little bit of fun.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
Hey, when bombs are 2 rupees apiece, you can afford to have fun with your explosives.
Except for when I'm like down to 1 rupee and I have to like kill things to get the 2. That was great.
So, out of curiosity, Myria, did you find out what was under that blue ring Armos on that really horrible screen?
Blue ring Armos? Oh,
Yeah,
I believe it was a take money.
Nope, it was a
no,
arrow shot.
shot.
Oh, that's right, arrow shop. Yeah, it wasn't anything significant.
Yeah, yes. I think I spent like a minute on that screen in early game and then didn't find out what was under there, and that was frustrating.
Yeah, dealing in that room with 6 Lionels wasn't fun.
Oh yeah, and then the first attempt I made at it, I went to the 2 left Armor statues, and of course those are not it. That's my very typical beginning game, trying to get to that stupid space.
Meanwhile, for Myria, your tournament experience is not done yet. You go down to the bonus bracket. You're going to be facing off against the number 29 seed M Pain Train coming up. Very interesting matchup between the two of you should be coming up there.
Yeah, we're pretty close in ability, I think. So yeah, this will be another crazy run. Congratulations, Ampharos.
Thanks, and I'm sure you'll tear them all up in the bottom bracket.
I don't know about that, but I think I can make a little bit of a dent.
You had a very good, solid effort, Myria. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to ask, Greenleaf?